The women's suffrage movement in the United States, which promoted the right to vote for women, began in the early 19th century. But after the Civil War, it gathered much more political influence. Women who had run households and businesses during the war increasingly pushed for their right to participate in civic life as well. Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott were two such women who had joined the anti-slavery movement and later had spoken across the country about both women's civil rights and the rights of enslaved people. In 1848, Stanton and Mott led the first convention for women's rights in Seneca Falls, New York. By the 1850s, Stanton had partnered with Susan B. Anthony to hold conventions, notably in Syracuse, New York in 1852, to promote women's right to vote, to be employed, and to be educated equally. Women published books and articles arguing for these rights, such as Charlotte Perkins Gilman's 1898 book, Women and Economics, and Judith Sargent Murray's 1779 essay on the equality of the sexes. Anthony and Stanton formed the National Woman Suffrage Association in 1869 to pressure the federal government to pass an amendment allowing women to vote. While that same year, Lucy Stone founded the American Woman Suffrage Association to fight for suffrage on a state-by-state basis. The two organizations merged in 1890 to become the National American Woman Suffrage Association. Amendments to the U.S. Constitution to give women the right to vote were proposed in 1878 and 1914. In 1913, Alice Paul, an organizer in the National American Woman Suffrage Association, organized a march on Washington to demand voting rights and picketed the White House a day before President Woodrow Wilson's inauguration. Although police arrested the suffragists and the strike failed to secure an amendment, Wilson became acutely aware of the National American Woman Suffrage Association's growing political strength. Later, women's key roles in supporting America's efforts in World War I led Republicans and Democrats alike, including President Wilson, to begin supporting suffrage for women. In 1919, Congress finally passed the amendment, which stated that the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied by the United States or any state on account of sex. When it became part of the U.S. Constitution in 1920, it extended voting rights to all white women.